As you know, we lost one of our net members yesterday morning, I guess. KI4LA, Gary Johnston, is a silent key, and we didn't find out till this morning on the net. And people express their sympathies, but as we usually do, and we've done it for Buddy and others, as many of you can on tonight's net, please stay around and give your reminiscences or your thoughts, anything you want to say about Gary, to where we can publicly eulogize him. Now, you know who I am, I know who you are, so we're going to dispense with all that stuff. It's not important. You hear it every night. Everybody's invited to check in. So we're going to do things a little different here. So bear with me. W4IOD. Odie, go ahead.
K4LID in the net. Thank you, Tom. And one quick announcement, and then we'll get on to Gary. Good evening, everyone. There's been a date change on the celebration of life for Buddy, KB4EB and a P. It's the same location, but the new time is Saturday, April the 23rd, from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern. The location, for those that wasn't on frequency or don't have access to Facebook or I didn't get an email out to, it's at the Dover Baptist Church, 7327 Dover Road in Shelbyville, and the family thanks you for your patience and understanding about the date change. Break. And as Tom mentioned, starting the net this evening, it is with much sadness that I have to inform everyone we have to cope with the loss of yet another member of our amateur radio family here in Kentucky and on the Kentucky phone net. This evening we have to say goodbye to my friend Gary Johnson, KI4LA, as the good Lord called Gary home yesterday, the 13th day of March 2022. Gary was a very active with amateur radio and the ARL. He was a net control station for this Kentucky phone net, and lately he was enjoying working with the students at Dixie Heights High School there in Edgewood, Kentucky, and promoting their involvement with amateur radio. One thing that I will never forget, it's been a couple of 3 years ago, spending an afternoon with Gary here on 3816 as the Kentucky QSO party was going on. And it got later in the afternoon, so I knew if somebody wasn't on this frequency, it would get snatched away from us for the net. So I was up here working the Kentucky QSO party, and Gary came in and asked me if he could listen in. He said he'd never participated in the Kentucky QSO party. He just wanted to listen and learn. I said, sure, no problem. And before the afternoon was over, he was sharing the frequency with me as when I took a break, he'd jump right in and was working the calling stations with Kenton County, KEN. And then I think he had so much fun, and I know I did, listening to him get his feet wet working the Kentucky QSO party. Gary was truly an amazing person and the definition of an ambassador of goodwill, and he will definitely be missed. I'll ask that you remember Gary's family in your thoughts and prayers, and we'll pray that God brings them comfort during their time of loss. At this time, I'll ask for radio silence as we do a last call for Gary, and we maintain it except for the event of an actual emergency. And if you do have an actual emergency, break in by using the pro words emergency or break, and we'll assist you with your emergency traffic. At this time, all stations, please stand by. KI4LA. KI4LA. Kilo India 4 Lima Alpha. Sierra Kilo. Blue skies and tailwinds, Gary. With no further traffic, W4IOD back to net control.
Thank you very much, Odie. And Gary had another call. He used to be back in the 60s and 70s, WB4FAT, Foxtrot Alpha Tango. And he was very instrumental in providing Civilian Communications for the devastating fire at the Beverly Hills Supper Club in 77. All right. Now, guys, we're going to do this a little different tonight. I'm just going to call for check-in and give a pro word, whatever, so I want to get everybody, so everybody has a chance to say something. You short-timers can hang around. There ain't nothing that you've got to do. So I'll take short-timers, spread them out, and I'll call them back, and we'll get everything in, and then we'll start the comments. If you want to eulogize Gary, you may. And that's primarily what we're doing tonight, one of our family members. So people who are wanting to check in, please call.